I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners workshop meeting for February 8, 2023. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus. Commissioner Lees. Commissioner Zimmerman.
Here.
So we are going to start off this evening, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by our Eagles superfan, our Township Manager, Aaron Bebro.
I pledge allegiance. Aye. God.
Yes, thank you, superfan number 1 and Chief superfan, Eagles superfan number 2. And there's another, that's right, another superfan. And there will be numerous Eagles references throughout tonight's meeting for purposes of excitement and then also harassment of our township manager who foolishly cheers for a different squad.
Update our harassment policy. We'll work on that for next meeting.
Who you root for is not a protected category. All right, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers. Second. Second by Commissioner Andrus. All in favor of approving the agenda before you say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we can move ahead with that agenda. Citizens' comments. We have 3 citizens, so any citizens' comments? All right, not seeing any citizens' comments, we're going to do consent items. Is there a motion to enter into the record the consent items that are listed on your agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus. Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. And actually, before we vote, it's the police report for the month of January, the VMSC ambulance report for January, the HTMA monthly budget report for the month of December, and the North Penn Water Authority meeting minutes for the month of December 20th. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved, and they are moved into the record. First, Planning and Zoning Committee, Vice President Rogers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay. Public Works Committee, Commissioner Lees.
Yeah, and action item number 2, I'll jump.
Oh, okay. For the paving and whatnot? Okay. Parks and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Zimmerman.
Okay, you know I won't let you down.
All right.
Okay, so we've got our Get Fit classes. Registration is open for the second session of the winter fitness classes starting this month. REMAX begins on the 27th on Mondays. Zumba begins on the 26th on Sundays in the morning, 9 to 10. Pound begins on the 28th, Tuesdays in the evening, 6:30 to 7:30. Yoga starts March 2nd on Thursdays, 7 to 7:45. All classes held in the administration building in the community room. Class fees vary depending on session length. Visit the website for more details and more information. 2023 Winter Spring Indoor Pickleball already has began on January 9th. It goes through May 19th, Mondays and Wednesdays, 12:30 to 3, Fridays, 9:30 to 12. Online registration, $35, non-residents, $50 at the XL Sports on North Penn Road. We're going to have a Medicare seminar. Ready, Set, Medicare welcomes Del Val Senior Advisor Steve Perlman to discuss information that will help you make informed decisions about your health care. That will be on Thursday, April the 20th, 6:30 to 8 in the administration building, and you can register, but it is free. Some events coming up is Earth Day, so save the date. Our annual Earth Day event will be held on Saturday, April the 15th. Details on collection sites and items to be collected will be available on the website and Facebook later this month. Cleanup, if you're looking to get involved and help out in the community, sign up to be part of the Earth Day cleanup within the township. Again, Saturday the 15th, 8 to 12. And you can email Ashley about that at abrody, BROUDY, @hatfield.org to participate. Our spring scavenger hunt 5K race is on. The first race in our series kicks off in April. So in coordination with the Earth Day event and celebration, grab your friends and family and join us for the 5K through the township. Run for time or participate in the scavenger hunt along the course for a chance to win a prize. All runners receive a finisher medal, a race-themed prize, and post-race activities. Details and registration available at runtheday.com. And that will be on Sunday, April the 16th at School Road Park, start time 9 a.m. Something new that we're going to have, in addition to the seminar on the Medicare, we're going to have a seminar on solar energy. So if anybody's interested in learning more about solar energy, and if you're a homeowner and you want some solar panels, the workshop will provide you information on how it's connected to this is PICO Electric Distribution Center. So he'll talk about the process, the billing aspects of integrating solar energy to your business or your residence. That will be on Wednesday, February 15th, so that's just next week, at 6 p.m. here in the Township building. I don't see that you need to pre-register, so if you'd like to join that next Wednesday, the 15th at 6 p.m., learn about solar energy and solar panels. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, you're right. You did not disappoint. Thank you. Finance Committee, Commissioner Andrus. Oh, I skipped right over Public Safety because there's no report this evening. Sorry. Finance Committee, Commissioner Andrus.
So I'll give a plug.
All right.
Finance Committee, so the Township auditors were in the building this week, looking through our fiscal and financial activity for 2022, and we anticipate another smooth process and clean report, which will share in the spring. Not quite finance related, but I've been involved with the Aquatic Center. So registration will be going live in March for 2023 season pass registration, so please watch out for the Township's Facebook page and website for more information. To that end, we are currently hiring for all positions associated with the Aquatic Center: lifeguards, operations, grounds crew, front desk attendants, and concession employees. It's a great place to work if you and your children are looking for a seasonal job. Please, again, visit the Township website to apply. This is really sad news. As much as I don't want to admit the ski season is coming to an end, I am looking forward towards the Hatfield Aquatic Center opening up.
All right. We're moving right along. We're into our action items. First is a liquor license transfer hearing for Wawa, which we had a presentation about last meeting. Is there a motion for approval with regard to Resolution 23-02?
So moved.
Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrus. Aaron, do you want to walk us through this? I don't see we have a representative here this evening, but
Yeah, no representative. Commissioner, call the public hearing was at the last meeting, and I don't. All the questions were answered, and transfer.
so since that meeting, and I think your answer, what you just said, incorporates my what I'm anticipating you're going to say, is since the last meeting that we had where we peppered the representative with a bunch of questions, have any residents that you know come forward and contacted us and asked us really any questions as to the
Not one.
Commissioner, is there anything we would need to do other than take the vote? Because I see, all right, Counselor.
No, the resolution is prepared and it's appropriate for your action.
Sorry, Kristen, I called you a commissioner. Congratulations. You're
Yeah, I was just going to say thanks
Commissioner
for
number
the
6. Yep.
increase in pay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I want you to take that pay rate, actually.
All right. Well, any questions or comments? Questions, comments from commissioners or the residents? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of Resolution 23-02, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Second action item. Is there a motion for approval with regard to authorize the bids for the road paving, heating, fuel, pool, chemicals, ADA ramps, and Bishop Field renovations?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Aaron, I think you have this one as well.
Sure, thanks, Mr. President. Another sign of spring, much to Commissioner Andrews' May. But these are the bids that we work on every year for all of the chemicals associated with the Aquatic Center, as well as the heating fuel, gasoline, and diesel for our vehicles and our fleet. Road paving project for 2023. We had a Public Works Committee meeting prior to tonight's meeting with Commissioner Andrus and Commissioner Lee's phone to roads and the projects for the year, and the committee moved it forward. So After the board authorizes the bids tonight, we'll go through a process on pen bid like we have several years ago. We'll talk more about the specific roads in March when the board is in those, just to make sure that we can roads that we have chosen. But I think everyone, I know the commissioners are proud of the conditions of the roads here in the township and have been investing heavily in the infrastructure here for many years now, and it certainly shows. In addition, this year, a few of the more noteworthy projects that I think the residents will be excited to hear about is the commissioners have budgeted the paving of the Fricks Trail, which is something that we hear about often from bikers or moms in strollers or dads in strollers. It's hard to navigate, so we're going to pave that, which will connect into our trail system, so we'll have a fully paved trail system, as well as the Bishop Field renovation. We refer to the Bishop Field as the one in the back of School Road Park. That was used for years by our local Little League. Over the last 5 or 6 years, it just became overgrown, and it needs to be reestablished into an actual baseball field with an infield and some fences. So we've been working with our local sports groups to come up with a plan, and the cost of this has been budgeted. It's been discussed for over a year now, but it will be at a price most likely over the bidding threshold. So that's why we're including that in the annual bid this year. So many routine items, a few special items, and thankfully the board put us in a position financially to be able to accomplish all of these, unless we see some prices that come in that we don't anticipate. We should have a good meeting at the end of March to award these bids. So at this point, if the board would consider authorizing, we can move forward with putting that all together.
All right, well, that's the pending motion. Any questions or comments from commissioners or residents? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that approval, that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Okay, we're moving right along to Township Manager's Report. Aaron, it looks like you have a couple items.
Thank you, Mr. President. Commissioners, as you know, every month you get these consent items that you approve. We get a police report. We get reports from our local ambulance companies. We begin to get even more reports from our fire companies, thanks to some of the efforts of System Manager Scott Hutt that he's working on with the fire companies to get some better reports coming our way. So we were in that routine. What we haven't seen for many years is a report from our building department. As you know, we have a new department head, Don Delamater, who's also our zoning officer, since now Ken is in his semi-retirement mode. He was in the office today, thankfully. But we have more, we have new leadership. We have someone that's going to put together some data for us that I think you'll find interesting, and it's something that we'll be able to manage better moving forward. So just a quick look at our building department. By far, in this building, the busiest department that we have, without question. So we have Don at the helm, who has been in there about 4 months now, brings 30 years of experience to that department. Don reports to Scott, and then Scott to me, so there's energy in that department. We have a third-party building code official who the commissioners appointed about 18 months ago to take on those duties. So it's not just an employee now. We have a company that has 100 employees that, as the work grows here, they can accommodate us, or as the work declines over time, they can also then we can also make those adjustments as well. So it's a good position financially for the township. Team members in the department, as the commissioners know, we have a fire marshal, code enforcement officer, who's also our deputy fire marshal, and 2 full-time admin employees that we absolutely want to emphasize those 2 full-time admin employees tonight, because they're the ones that are taking the applications in for all these permits. They're the ones that are processing them. 2022 alone, that department issued 2,338 permits. Of those, our building permits made up 574 of those. Use and occupancy permit, 462. That's 462 new families, residents to the township. Some resales, of course.
That's about 100 per day.
Total. Yeah. So the one thing I wanted to just draw your attention to is, and I appreciate Commissioner Andrews, whose math skills are much better than mine. But each permit, it's not a simple transaction for a permit, right? It's not as simple as you press a button, we give you a piece of paper. Everyone has questions for permits. It's a confusing process, and I think we do a pretty good job at it. It's confusing on its best day. But my point is those 2 admin employees, they're spending all day working with the applicants, answering questions, sometimes simple questions, sometimes very complicated questions, talking to the building code official, relaying that message back to these residents, business owners, contractors. But the volume's astronomical, and we talked about some of our the revenue component to this can be significant, and it changes over time. But really just wanted to draw attention to how busy the department is, and how much, first of all, how great of a job they do, but how important it is now to have a full-time department head. We haven't had that in many years, overseeing them. Scott's been helping with a lot of the things associated with the planning commission, so really put in the resources in the department that needed it. But you can see how busy they are, and they're on the phone all day long, answering questions, issuing permits, and we have a time frame that we have to meet for every permit that's applied for, and we often exceed it. But it's a complicated process that a lot goes into it, so I appreciate their efforts and just wanted to draw attention to that and make sure everyone's aware of those efforts in that department. I know the commissioners are, but it's, I think, an important thing to point out to the public. That's our recap. We'll see more data moving forward now that we're going to track it and report on it regularly, and see how that goes. Again, something we don't control, right? That comes not a business process and review and uphold certain standards. So that's item 1. Item 2, just quickly, it's a preview, just to give the commissioners a heads up and the residents if interested. Our executive director of HTMA, Pete Dorney, our long time executive director, will be here at the regular meeting for everybody's favorite presentation of the year, the sewer. Pete hasn't been here in a while, and wants to come out for this one and talk about some of the challenges they're having at the sewer authority, inflationary prices and other challenges to the environment these days with what they're doing. We'll see more from Pete and hear more from him in 2 weeks. Thanks, commissioners, for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Okay. Solicitor's report.
As well.
All right, before we do citizens' comments, I need to announce that we met in executive session earlier to discuss litigation. Any citizens' comments? Thank you for the 3 of you coming out. We appreciate anyone. Happy Valentine's. And it's at this point, we're going to ask our chief and our township manager to sing the Eagles fight song. Oh, yeah. Deb, go ahead.
We'll fight all Eagles fans, however.
I'm not sure what he said, but I think he's going to be blocked out.
Yeah,
Justin's going to block him out.
Bleep, bleep.
Yep. Yep.
I just want to make a quick reminder announcement that at our 1 month from today meeting, our March 8th meeting, we will be honoring our worthy women of Hatfield for Women's History Month. So it would be great if some residents would come out and support those women. I would certainly hope we would make them feel a lot better if we had more than 3 people in the audience, other than their family members, of course. And I'll remind everybody again at our next meeting, but again, if you want to mark your calendar for March 8th for Women's History Month, we're going to be honoring our worthy women of Hatfield at that meeting. Would love to see you there.
All right. Good one. Good one. Good announcement. Okay. Anything else? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Commissioner Andrus. Second by Vice President Rogers. Any comments or questions? I'll call a question. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we are adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.